Well, good morning. Today you're in a treat. We're going to talk about the time in your life where you no longer speak the same language as your child.
Skibbity toilet Riz.
In case you haven't guessed, those are the junior high years.
Yeah.
I don't even know what you said.
Me neither, Alicia.
Where did you learn that?
From junior high kids.
From junior high kids. Well, today that's what we want to talk about are our junior high kiddos.
Yes.
So precious, little souls that they are.
So precious little souls. And I spend quite a bit of time around these 6th through 8th graders. And I think there's some really, really important years of life that we shouldn't neglect.
Absolutely. And did you know that they also say that you start to act like the people you hang out with?
Yes.
So does that make you a junior high kid also?
You usually get critiqued of that, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Usually get called an adult and age only.
Age only. All right. So let's talk about junior high kiddos. When I think of them, the first thing I think of are huge, big, giant emotions.
Oh, big emotions. Yeah, that's really good. Maybe lots of tears during
Both
these years.
kids and parents.
And parents.
Right.
And learning how to navigate these emotions in really big ways. And we want to teach our kids how to maybe manage them. Right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Not let them be the leaders of their lives, but some companions along the way.
And then, huge concern about who's going, what we're doing. Like they live in the here and now.
Yeah, maybe not much concept with 6th through 8th graders. And this isn't necessarily a knock against them. This is just maybe just developmentally where they're at. They don't think very future oriented. During these years, we as human beings don't think a lot about outside of ourselves. We're just concerned with what's going on in our lives in this very moment and what's taking place for sure.
And then, not to mention the fact that you can never have enough food in your house or clothes that fit your
Never.
kids because they grow so much during these
They're growing
years.
so fast, and junior high boys can eat, man. I mean, you're talking about bottomless pits. When we put out snacks at any events, they're gone instantly. They're like raccoons. They just come and snatch everything up.
For sure. I thought this might be the case, so I looked it up. Like, it is the average, an average 6th grader, do you believe this, grows 3 inches that year.
I believe that
and
for sure.
gains 10 pounds.
Yeah, there's a massive
In Doritos.
difference. In just Doritos. That's all Dorito weight. It's interesting to watch in my role, right? So give leadership to the junior high and the high school space, but the junior high space, it's fascinating to watch the growth. It's fun to watch the growth of junior high students from 6th to 8th grade. And when I say growth, I mean spiritual growth, social growth. I mean literal physical growth. Yeah, you actually see them get taller and grow physically as well as see them grow up just as human beings too. There is a huge, I didn't know this. I underestimated this when I became youth pastor. There's a huge difference between a 6th grader and an 8th grader. I mean, massive. And you think about the leap that takes place from 5th grade to 6th grade, going from elementary school into the junior high. You go from top dog to like bottom of the totem pole.
You were demoted.
There's a lot going on. I think back a lot about being in junior high myself. When I was in 6th grade, it was the first year that I got to walk home from school.
They
And
let
I
you
felt-
walk home.
Oh, it wasn't. It was Kemp, Texas. Nothing was.
Did you
gonna
have to
go
cross
wrong.
busy streets or anything like
Well,
that?
it was Kemp, Texas, so there was not a
There
whole lot
were no
going on.
busy streets.
But I remember walking home for the first time and thinking that, I don't know, it was almost a sense of like, I've grown up a little bit. Like, this is kind of responsibility that I wouldn't have had before. I remember having my first crush in 6th grade.
Oh,
yeah,
are
that
you going to
was real.
reveal the name?
No, I'm too scared.
Top secret.
So all of this was going on during these years. These are super pivotal years. And something I think about a whole lot during these years is the junior high years, the middle school years are critical in kids figuring out what they care about, what they're passionate about, what they're good at. If you notice, a lot of junior high kids are involved in multiple sports, multiple clubs,
sports.
all of them. Hey, getting to know you, ask the name, what do you involve? Oh, I play basketball, track, soccer, baseball, and then they're in cheer club, or they do cheer, and then they're in chess club, and they do robotics, like everything.
When
under
do you
the sun.
sleep?
Exactly. And then you talk to high school students, and it's much more narrowed down. They're usually 1 or 2 things that they're involved in because these junior high kids are trying to figure out what in the world they're good at, what in the world they're passionate about, what they like, and where they fit.
And we know that in this search for trying to figure out where you fit, you also see massive changes in their friend groups.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
100%. It's interesting to watch and look at the difference between the high school cafeteria and the junior high cafeteria. We're normally there at least once a week, if not a couple. And in I always say that the high school cafeteria feels more like a prison, while the junior high cafeteria feels more like a zoo. There's just a lot going on. And it is what it is. So what I've noticed at the junior high that's interesting is at the high school level, kids sit in the same spot every single day. It is not the case in the junior high. Not only each week when we show up are kids in different spots, sometimes they'll sit at 3 different tables in one lunch period. I mean, they're all over the place.
So are they looking for leftovers to eat, or they're trying to find new
They're
friends? What are
scavengers.
they doing?
Maybe that's what's going on. But I think maybe what they're looking for more is friendship, right? And connection. They're literally walking around the cafeteria searching for it. Some of them don't sit down the whole time. It's interesting to watch. I was excited to see us when we're there because they're just longing to be with people and want to be around people that want to be with them. It's fascinating to watch, and I think it communicates a lot to us about these years.
So, as we talk to parents and helping parents understand how to help navigate these times that might seem like forever, but really they go pretty quickly, like how do we help our parents help their junior high kiddos in a time where it might not be the easiest to be around them?
Oh, sure. No, yeah, that's definitely true. Well, maybe we'd start with, I want to say a couple of things on each grade. Okay, so 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, these middle school years. We've thought a lot about this in our student ministry here about what we think the 6th graders saying, what we think the 7th graders saying, what the 8th graders saying, and what's our answer to it? What's our truth found in God's word? We think the 6th grader is generally saying, I'm little and the world is huge. Right?
And they just figured it out.
They just figured it out.
Yes.
Going from elementary school and stepping into a junior high the first time to notice that, okay, number one, something that happened here in Kaufman specifically, 3 elementary schools, all those kids just got pushed into one school. So, I mean, the population is literally bigger. They're in a bigger pond. And what they feel and what they're saying is, hey, I'm really little. I'm noticing this now, and the world around me is absolutely massive. The word that we kind of attribute to 6th grade is discover. The question we're asking is, what are you learning? What are you learning? And the thing that we want them to know most is God is way bigger than you think, way bigger than you could possibly imagine. He's bigger and better and greater than you could even think. For the 7th grader, we think they're actually asking a question. What is happening to my body? Right? I mean, these are like puberty years, acne setting in, lots of growth,
not enough
smells
deodorant,
are emerging from
so
the
much
body.
Axe spray.
So much is going on. So our word for 7th grade is growth. And our question for our 7th graders is, how are you growing? And the truth we want them to know is your growth always comes from God. Matthew 6:33, Jesus said, seek first the kingdom and righteousness, and all these things are going to be added to you. And then finally, the 8th grader. 8th grade year can be really hard.
No one's smarter than an 8th grader. You know this, right? They know everything.
You can't tell them anything that they don't know. There is a massive maturity gap in the 8th grade girl and the 8th grade boy. It's
Amen to
wild to watch. In an 8th grade, we think they're saying, my friends are changing. I'm scared of what's next. They're about to make this jump into high school, and that can be incredibly intimidating for 13-year-olds or so as they're making this jump. Our word for them is explore, and we're asking them the question, what are you looking for? Like, what are you looking for in this life? Our truth for them that we want to communicate is God will always guide you into the next step, into fear, into the unknown. God will always guide you and lead you into what's next.
And we would want them to trust God and his guidance and not get stuck in that comparison trap that we can see happen to them so often in those junior high years, especially for those girls. We can see their level of confidence drop drastically when they start trying to figure out what everyone else thinks about me.
Yeah, for sure.
And finding their identity in Christ and what God thinks about them.
Yeah, that's what we want. And we think friendships are just critically important during these years. We started something really cool almost a year ago at Scary Middle School, and it'll be coming to some other schools in the future around us. An after-school program Wednesday we call Beyond the Bell. And the goal of it is to get kids to church, but what we tell them every week is, hey, we think this place exists for you to be active and to make some friendships. And we believe this is a lot better for you than just going home and playing video games for an hour or two. Fortnite.
Oh, it's a thing. Build or no build?
What'd you do over fall break? Fortnite. What'd you do over winter break? Fortnite. Okay, maybe let's branch out a little bit because friendships are so important, and we believe as a church, a student ministry, we're trying to create safe space for friendships to develop among middle school students.
And as parents, like today before we leave, like we would want parents to know that it's still very important that as your students are navigating these friendships, as their friend groups change quickly and often, that we continue to ground our kiddos in their church friends.
Yeah.
So talk to us a little bit about how we can keep them involved during these years.
Yeah, I think just being active Wednesday nights, Sunday mornings, and we offer some events throughout the year that would be important that you can certainly learn more about, that we could talk about, find on a website, etc. We think these are crucial years. We want to pay attention to them. We want to validate who they are and help them develop
those emotions. Those emotions that they have. It's real easy to blow it off and be like, junior high doesn't matter. But it matters to them. Those are big emotions, and we want them to know that their emotions matter.
I agree. That's it.
And they should also know that we are all a work in progress. None of us are still like we were when we were in junior high.
100%. Thank God.
Thank God for that, right? So that's all we have for you guys today. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.